Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning. Had a real rough night last night. Couldn't fall asleep till almost like 4 o'clock. So it's been a real lazy morning. Just trying to get what sleep I could. And hopefully my shave helps brighten that up a little bit. I picked one of my new soaps, the Stirling, as you probably saw in the intro, the Port-au-Prince. It's got a real strong vetiver. I'd say about a 60-40 vetiver slash lemongrass, kind of like that sweet lemon scent to it. And I thought that little bit of citrus in there, but also the earthiness would help wake me up. I was impressed. This is my first time buying Stirling. The size of the sample is a full ounce. I just weighed it. This one was actually 1.1 ounces. It is a soft soap though, just for those who, interested. So it'll be a new experience there for new soap scent. Like I said, I've used their product before, thanks to a sample I was given. And let me show you something before I lather up. I did do, for those that didn't see or may have seen my badger video last night that I posted while I couldn't sleep. I will show you the backbone of this brush now that it's wet. You can see it splays much easier. It still offers a good fight, but you can see that it softens up a lot. And I just want to make sure that was apparent, that it is it does feel very, very soft. That's the NV white knot. So I didn't want you to think that, oh, the knot itself was so hard, but just thought I'd show that. Go ahead and lather up, or load up. So last night I was reading in Numbers, and I've read similar in Joshua where it talks about the breaking up of the clans and who has what responsibilities, things like that. And it hit me again while reading it last night, where the Levites were put in charge of the tabernacle, and other clans had, war responsibilities and things like that. Sorry, my nose itches today. Probably allergies rained a lot last night. And just got me thinking about how the people must have felt at that time. I'll get to that in a second. Just want to make sure I get a good solid load. Alright, let's see what happens. Wipe my face real quick. But, I think about it. If you're one of those clans that gets told, oh, you've got to, you're one of the fighting clans. And then you see this clan of Levites, and they get to hang out. I would say that they were the preachers. But here you are having to go out and fight and risk your life. Yeah, there could probably be some bitter feelings there. And I'm not saying that that's the way they felt, but I'm just imagining, Then there's also the reverse. Is a lot of people feel called to be the defenders of people. So the other group, the Levites, doesn't mean that all of them wanted to, be basically the pastors slash people that took care of people, took care of the tabernacle and that stuff. So it just kind of made me think of the interesting dynamic. Keep adding water. I'm not getting the lather I wanted just yet. From the sample I had, I know it lathers well. It's starting to come together. I think I just shook off too much water off the brush. There we go. Got a nice sheen to it now. But yeah, it got me thinking about that aspect of it now. An aspect about that, and I'll just get in that in just a second. Losing lather. Alright, I think that just right there, that load showed just how adding just a little bit more water can make the lather just really explode. Um, but what I was thinking about is, we all have a calling in our lives by God. There's things that He would like us to do, and we may not always like it. Some people may not feel comfortable talking, but then they're called to do that. Others, and so they have to adjust. Others may want to be, the person out front, the figurehead per se, but they're called to do a supporting role. They don't like it, but those are the roles we're given, and we're called to do. If we follow those callings, great things can happen. As I said before, it's not all sunshine and rainbows when you follow God's will. There will be trials and tribulations. Yeah, I was watching a video last night. Hold on a second. It was about a very famous modern large church preacher, and talked about, the reason I bring it up real quick is it mentioned something I'd never heard about before, but it was the prosperity doctrine, basically, or philosophy. And it was just saying that this preacher, that's what he preaches about. You follow God and you're going to, be prosperous and all that. And I don't claim to be an expert on this person. I know enough that I don't really follow that person much. And I'm not going to say who it is, just because I know some people really like listening to him, and hey, if that's their, but it's just not me. Actually, I will. Joel Osteen. But it was just talking about how, some people just preach the, oh, you're going to be prosperous. And like I said, I don't know his stuff, so that's just what they were saying. I had never heard of the prosperity doctrine or preaching type stuff by title. But, that kind of goes what I was just talking about, though, of just not everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows. But, do follow God's will. I didn't want to work security for the church. I had other plans of stuff I wanted to do. And it took me quite a while to accept it, because in the past I had done sound, I had done ushering at other churches. Stuff where you were more involved in the day-to-day operations and stuff. So I kind of resisted at first. People were telling me, oh, you should do it, you should do it. And I just kept resisting. But now that I'm doing it, I definitely feel it's almost like it was meant for me. I really enjoy it. What I found is I'm basically an usher with a badge, or a greeter with a badge, or with a shirt, I should say. And the flock does need protecting, so it's a very important thing. So it just took me a while to accept that calling. And the way it was explained to me is just think about it. You know, if a church does have security or anybody has security, you want them to have a presence about them where you can tell they mean business. But also, especially in a church setting, you want them to be, you know, open to talking. You know, I could be, you know, the old Russian, you know, that type of guy that doesn't talk, just stands there, looks mean. But the best way to diffuse a lot of situations is just approach, greet, say hi, shake a hand, and that's how you get a lot of intel on what people are thinking. But I digress. Let me talk about this soap. You can see it's got a, you know, it took me a little while to lather it, just couldn't figure out the water ratio. But for third passes, this is a very, let me warm my blade up a little more, a very still thick coat. You know, I don't see through my skin at all, or to my skin, I should say. I'm liking the combination of the earthy with a bit of citrus. Kind of brightens the day up a little bit and brightens it up. I know most people, or some people don't like, anything mixed with their vetiver. I'm finding it to be very nice. It kind of changed it just like with my LPL lavender vetiver. It changes it up. I've got another vetiver that's just pure vetiver, at least to me it is, with a little bit of a cologne smell to it. I would call it a very earthy lemon scent, because it's not like candied lemon or like over the top citrus. I'm assuming lemongrass. I've never smelt lemongrass to my knowledge. It's more of an earthy kind of lemon scent to it. I don't know. So it's nice. It's got that lemon smell, but it's really, really grounded. You know, for the first time using this crown blade too, it's not bad. Of course, I put it in my MR5 because new blade, you never know how they're going to respond, so I figured I'd go with my most mild blade, or razor. Alright, let's see where we're at. Under the chin a little bit. A little more. Oh, there it is. I'll say this. That's a smooth shave. The touch-ups were very minor. May have looked like a lot, but really they were just, I think on my neck it was actually closer than normal, other than right under here. So it was, I did a few touch-ups normally I wouldn't do on my neck because it just seemed like I got really super close, at least on this part, which is really hard. Right there a little bit off, but I don't really stress too much on the Adam's apple area. Yeah, very, very nice shave. Good post-shave feel. Still has a nice slick protective nature to it. And now we'll go with the Hierophant. I figured the sage and sweetgrass. Just thought it would, once again on a kind of rainy, cloudy day, bring out a little, finish off with a little kind of that sweeter smell to kind of round out the earthiness. That's so nice. Madame Scodioli are definitely top notch. Once I run out of the samples, I'll buy some. Just trying to figure out exactly what aftershaves I want to buy. Alright, well, that sums up my shave. Once again, the Port-au-Prince is what I use today as the new soap. Really can't complain. Like I said, I had to dial it in a little bit. The scent is definitely for me. It's one I can, pretty safe to say, that I can use year-round. You know, winter, the sweetness of it'll come into play. It's not overly, you know, it's not like a leather where I couldn't use it in the hot summer. This just has a very good balance to it. So I can see myself getting a full puck at some point. Not saying I will, but it has that ability to me. Where others, like, I haven't used it yet, but just by the smell, the Texas on Fire, I could not use this in the summertime. I don't think I could. 100 degrees, smelling a campfire, all that, it just wouldn't work for me. But in the winter, I could see myself using this a lot. So, like I said, good scent for me, year-round scent for me, especially with where I live. So, everybody just have a really blessed day. Take care of each other as always. Be safe. And just look out for those around you. You know, everybody always needs help. And accept the plan that God has for you. God bless everybody.